We showed up. I don't know who they belonged to. They were abandoned. They were beat up old clunkers. And I started noticing that over the months that people were coming in here and they were basically scavenging those beat up, tore up, destroyed old vehicles. Once again, not my vehicles, not my property. Mr. Nichols, when he first came here 3 years ago, flatly insisted that those vehicles were mine. And he said, those are yours. I know they're yours because I've seen people out here working on them. I tried to explain to him that, if you saw anybody out here working on them, it wasn't me or my people working on them. And furthermore, those are not my vehicles and that is not my property. Mitch fixated on that, and he just absolutely refused to get off that. It didn't matter what I said, he insisted those were my vehicles. The fact is, they were not. What they was abandoned vehicles, and there was people coming in here scavenging those vehicles like buzzards going after a carcass. Okay? So that does not exist and never did exist. The next thing is vehicles parked on an unapproved surface, RVs and boats and whatnot. An approved surface, my understanding, is concrete pad, or it's got to be a gravel drive area, my understanding is. So let's just tackle this now. There's my RV. Notice it's parked on a concrete pad. This is concrete down here. There's a boat for sale here. Once again, parked on a concrete pad. Another little boat parked on a concrete pad. My trailer parked on a concrete pad. This property that I have these vehicles parked on belongs to my neighbor, and his name is Mr. Dallas. And my agreement is that I can park my vehicles there. And in turn for him allowing me to do that, I keep his field over there trimmed and litter-free. I also have the same deal with my adjacent neighbor here. Once again, truck parked on concrete, boat trailer parked on concrete. My boat right now is in the water. When I bring my boat back, it'll be parked there on the concrete. Okay, so I don't know what they're talking about here about boats, trailers, RVs parked on unapproved surfaces, because obviously those are driveways and they're concrete. So that's taken care of. Next thing, unsecured and dilapidated signs. I have a little sign down here. When people call from the ads in the local advertising paper, I set an appointment for them to show up here so they can take a look at mattresses or a sofa set or whatever. And I've got this little sign here that is a portable sign that basically shows them how to get in and out. Phone number's there because sometimes I'm not here. And when I'm not here, they can get the number there and they can give a call, and I can make some time to come by back over here and meet with them and let them take a look at what I got. This is the other little sign. It's basically attached to my fence post there. It was attached over here to this telephone pole. I moved it off the pole. Once again, it's just letting people know that for service to call the number, and we can make time for them to come by, or for me to meet them over here. And also lets people know that we got live video recording going on, you know, for security reasons. So that dispels that. Okay. The next thing on this was accumulated garbage, litter, and trash. Okay. Once again, this is going to go back to about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Actually, it was 3 years ago when Mr. Nichols first came out here. You can see all this litter, trash through here. Once again, this field is not my field. I never allow my alley side to ever look like that. I have kids in this neighborhood that I pay them $10 an hour to come over here, and a couple of these kids will come in about once every 2-3 weeks, and they will mow the little lot right over in here and the other little lot over there. And I'll just show you that over here we're pretty much free and clear of litter. So that's what they do. They come in here and they mow and they pick up the litter. We got some that blew in. You can see the wind's blowing, and we get a lot of litter in here because of the wind flying through. But my side here is kept clean. Now, accumulated trash and garbage. I have my garbage trailer right here, and what we do is we throw away the old mattresses that come in that are not worth selling, not worth cleaning, and we haul loads regularly to the dump so it never accumulates. As far as when I was talking about the accumulated junk, scrap metal, machinery, vehicles, and so on, there's a washing machine right back there, and I usually get about 3 of those out here every week or so, and I've got scrap dealers that come in here and they haul these away for me. So just like any other business, you're going to accumulate a few things, but I do have all this stuff regularly removed. So I don't even know why they've got that down as a code violation. Okay, and the last thing was major vehicle repair, vehicle dismantling, salvage activities in public view of right-of-way. Once again, I believe that goes back to when the vehicles were parked over here that were abandoned. And if the city saw people, hi sweetheart, that's my granddaughter right there, grandson.
Where are you going?
Oh, we're showing the city some things. You guys will go ahead and head back into the house, okay? Okay. So anyway, the vehicles that were being worked on over here were people coming in basically like vultures attacking the carcass, and they were stripping parts and whatnot off of those abandoned vehicles. And I state emphatically that those vehicles did not belong to me, and that property is not my property. Okay? Okay, so the next thing it says here is that I'm to remove all temporary membrane structures, stored items, materials, equipment, tools, vehicles not properly parked and impervious off-street parking surfaces, stored recreational vehicles, junk, inoperable vehicles, dilapidated signs, dead or dying trees, debris, trash, and garbage. Okay. We covered the trash and garbage. I don't allow trash and garbage to build up in my area here. These portable garages I use as cheap storage for some of the items I sell, such as mattresses and whatnot. Okay. Those are portable. They're not affixed to the property, and therefore I don't believe they're covered. I have a right to have those here. I can't imagine that you need a building permit for something like that. Okay, next. Well, if I'm going to have to be forced to remove all stored items, I guess what they're saying to me is I can't do business. I have to get rid of all my stock. Any mattresses, any washer, dryer that I might have, I've got to get rid of. That's basically telling me we're kicking you out of business. Okay? And it says restore all failing, faulty, and deteriorated exterior weather protection on primary structure, including roofing, siding, windows, paint, and discontinue unpermitted residential use of your property. In other words, get out of your house. So let's go back here and find out where all this deteriorated exterior weather protection, the roofing, siding, windows, and paint,